Welcome to KH Unfiltered Football. Special show today where we're here with Kai, the main man, special guest Alexis and Kavkas View, and Matisse make his debut on the channel. Welcome, Matisse. How you doing, bro?
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be on. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, StreamYard want to move mad today. It's good to be chatting with you guys. And obviously, this week has just been ridiculous football-wise.
Why? What's happened this week? I've been asleep for 3 days. I don't know what's happened.
Come on, man.
It's been crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, man, I've never been so like exhausted in my life when it comes to football. Like, obviously, games are important, but I feel like what happened this week, we just look back and we're like, yo, games are minuscule in comparison. That Brighton result was minuscule in comparison to what they tried to do to this sport was a complete, it was a complete farce. So yeah, man, it's nuts. Incredible.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, apparently it took them three years to come up with this. 3 years, it's been more than that, but 3 years to come up, and it took 3 days to collapse.
Two days to collapse. 2 days.
Has anyone read or listened to that Perez interview last night?
No.
The man contradicted himself every other sentence. It was weird, bro. I can't believe no one stepped in and cancelled it. No other director or any PR people came in and said, "What are you doing?" There's no way he went by any answers with anyone before he went on that pitch. But
he's the president of Real Madrid, man. Who's going to tell him no, man? Who's going to tell him no, man? They'll lose their job, man.
Money talks, and he's got a lot of it.
Yeah, money does talk, bro.
But what do you boys think about us, potentially, like, not playing Real Madrid due to that? Like, if they're going to kick Real Madrid out, that's going to be an issue, isn't it? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want us just to go through. I don't think that's just us going through is not earning the Champions League for me. What do you guys think? Matisse, we'll start with you, bro.
It definitely takes the shine off of it if we just get straight promotion to the final. I feel like, in any tournament, the whole point of it is you want to earn the right to win it. You want to earn every single stage. When you look back on that 2012 win, you don't just look at the final. You look at the game against Napoli. You look at the game against Benfica. Barcelona. So you wanna go through the step-by-step process to win. And from the moment that you're just put yourself into the final like that, then it kind of does take the shine off of it, because it's kind of what the Super League was about, where it's just, you're kind of just there. Do you know what I'm saying? But we haven't earned the right to be there. So I still want to play them. I wouldn't be surprised if UEFA give us a little ant and deck in the mic and give them a dodgy referee and the decisions go against them, because there's no way Perez can walk. There's no way Perez can walk out of that
unscratched.
That game and win. There's no way he can win that tournament. Imagine Perez wins the Champions League this season with Real Madrid. It's gonna be madness. So I'm sure UEFA don't want that to happen.
He would go up. He would go up and lift it himself. You wouldn't let Ramos.
No. Bro, can you imagine, right? When they give the trophies out, it's going to be Alexander Saffron giving it, or whatever his name is. He's going to be the one giving it to Perez and the captains.
No, in Perez, man, he's going to scratch off the UEFA symbol and just add ESL there, man. Just like scratch it all together.
Yeah.
And be like, I won, you guys are... Yeah, it is. You know what? And a lot of people are saying stuff about Roman Abramovich and whatever. But I like, as somebody who's been working in marketing for as far as I do, if you take away the fan aspect from it and you look at it from a businessman, I do understand why the club was tempted to do it, because the clubs who were wanting to do it are like the top tier dogs, like they are, at least as far as revenue and as far as brand, they're the biggest clubs. So if you are not joining them, you are left behind. What the issue I have is leaving the fans, like without knowing anything until the day it happened. And then when they did give us the reasoning, they didn't tell us, oh, we're thinking this, we're thinking this. It's like, oh, it's going to start from next season, and this is what's going to happen. And that's what I have an issue with. I understand if you don't like UEFA, if you have issues with the UEFA, like, I'm not the biggest fan of UEFA. I think we should be paid based on our, standing in the world of football, which is very, very high. I think like we're the top 7, top 6 club as far as brand in world football, which is crazy. So apparently we have no history, whatever. But just the fans, we're not like, I feel like those clubs treat us like consumers rather than fans. They should have let us know that okay, UEFA is not good. We're not happy with the way UEFA treats us. Yeah. What do you guys think?
They don't treat us as fans. They treat us. They treat us as consumers, man. This is a business to them. Do you know what I'm saying? You can see by the way that they all moved. They kind of all moved in silence with this whole Super League thing. They had their private meetings and whatnot after maybe UEFA conferences. They didn't tell Paolo Maldini, the director of AC Milan, that this was going through. He came out publicly and said he didn't even know about it. The managers, the players didn't even know about it. They were forced to answer questions in press conferences and speak to the media on a topic that they didn't even really know too much about. They clearly weren't briefed, maybe because performance levels would have dropped if they were briefed, but they weren't told. So they didn't let the fans know, hence the backlash. So they clearly don't have a connection to the fans. They don't really care about, you know, the individuals and the lifeblood and the history of the club. They're there because they want to turn it into a franchise. They want to turn it into a money profit scheme for themselves. So you know, you only have to look at Henry's speech. He's getting a lot of credit from the Liverpool fan base. He many times referred to the club as yours, not ours. So that's clear that he doesn't see it as his. You know, he sees it as your club, but he's the one running it, and he doesn't really feel any connection to it. You know, I'm pretty sure he was probably reading off a prompter as well, so it wasn't coming from the heart. You know, Arsenal's apology, there was, you know, it's all well and good. They probably had put out the best statement out of everyone, but Kroenke there was no Kroenke written in that apology to say that he takes responsibility for his actions. Chelsea, there was no apology. Manchester United wrote about Man United wrote 2 sentences. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen like, you know, nursery kids write longer fucking letters than that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So it's nuts, man. It's nuts.
What do you think about Roman Abramovich, Matisse? Is that like what happened? Because for me, I love Roman, man. I'm Israeli, man. Roman is Israeli.
Roman is the GOAT. Roman is the GOAT. Like,
you know, just because he misunderstood a situation, right, and he made a mistake, I will never back on that guy. And to me, that some people are saying, oh, Roman should leave. I'm like, I'll take you back on a trip 15, 17 years ago before Roman Abramovich, where Chelsea was compared to now. So I don't think like one small blip take away the amount of respect that we need to have, you know, like we're obligated to have towards that guy. Where do you stand as that?
The difference with us and other fan bases is that they've wanted their owners out for a while. Kroenke at Arsenal, Glazers at United, FSG at Liverpool, that's probably just ramped up the pressure for them. Chelsea have never been against their owners. Manchester City have never been against their owners. So we can't pretend like all evil is equal, because at the end of the day, they plotted the whole scheme. Now, of course, Chelsea are still wrong. Manchester City is still wrong. Atletico Madrid is still wrong. All of these clubs that joined piggybacked off of a stupid plan that didn't have the rest of the football landscape in consideration. They should still get penalized. They should still get in trouble. We should still give them heat. But we can't. I wouldn't be doing a 180 switch on our ownership, who have been very good for this club over 2 decades almost, just because of a major mistake. Yes, they've made a major mistake, but it doesn't mean I'm going to start turning against them. You know, Roman's done a lot for this club in terms of putting it on the map in Europe. You know, same with Manchester City and their owners. They've been, you know, they've been brilliant in terms of what they've done for the clubs and putting them up. And no one should expect us to turn against the owner just like that. But they do need to be held accountable, and they do need to come out and speak. I think a lot of people are also jumping the gun. And they're just listen. I don't have the sources. I haven't asked the sources to you know, about who signed off on it. But I think because Glazer and because Henry and because Kroenke and Perez and all these guys were on the chairman list, it's very easy to make it very clear these are the individuals that wanted this to happen the most. Chelsea and Manchester City are not in financial problems. Real Madrid are. So Chelsea didn't need to be in this. It's reported that Chelsea joined this because they didn't want to be left out and left behind, not because they needed the finances. Real Madrid, Barcelona, by the way. But Real Madrid and Barcelona needed the finances. You can hear
Perez even said that Chelsea, that there's owners in the English game that are not interested in making money. They're interested in the trophies. And for me, that's City and Roman Abramovich, because these guys are billionaires. They have shown because for me, you can talk 1,000 words on how much you want to be successful, like Glazers do or FSG do, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But in reality, as we have seen through actions, what Roman Abramovich does with Chelsea Football Club, the amount of investment he put into Chelsea Football Club.
250 spent in the COVID year.
Yeah.
But bro, just go to Sheikh Mansour's net worth. He doesn't need no Super League. This brother is worth 22 to 25 billion. This Manchester City project is a hobby for him. It's a bit of fun. It's like going to your money box. It's vibes. If someone says they need Nathan Ake for 40 million, that's like him going to his money box and picking that out and saying, all right, here's a bit of change. He doesn't need the money. The only people that needed the money was the clubs in financial crisis like Real Madrid, like Barcelona, clubs like that who are already financially struggling. They needed the money. You heard Perez come out and say that if Mbappe and Haaland, without the Super League, we can't afford these players. So this was money driven. This was all money. This was a completely money driven thing.
This was to help them with transfers. This was to help them with their own transfers.
And not only that, it's to help them stay competitive in the next 5 to 10 years. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't suit Chelsea and Manchester City to help everyone else. No. But if the money's getting shared out, we want a piece of the pie. That's literally what Chelsea said.
We basically, it's like, okay, you're going to get stronger with this. We're not going to let you get stronger with this and leave us behind. We're going to be along for the ride and keep you in check and on the terms of going, not making you better than us. Essentially, that's what it is. It's like going, we're not doing. Sorry, we're doing this.
Andrew, though. I think, like, if you actually look at it, so the bottom place Premier League team earns, I think it's 84 million. The team that wins the Champions League gets nowhere near that amount. I think it's like 20 million less. How can UEFA negotiate a worse deal than a Premier League when you have added teams like PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona in there? The product should be worth better. So I can understand why these clubs get frustrated.
But for me, Alexis, it shouldn't only be falling on UEFA, because these leagues from those countries give most of them, like, let's take the Spanish La Liga, right? Most of the money from that revenue goes to Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Barcelona. So, like, is that really I can't stand UEFA. Everybody who knows me knows that Chelsea should be paid as much as we're worth. At the end of the day, football is not a charity. We can say how much we want to help the smaller team, whatever, especially at these times during COVID. Chelsea needs the revenue that they deserve based on, like, the draw that they get, right? But at the same time, UEFA shouldn't be only UEFA blamed. FIFA should be blamed. The world of football should be blamed, because these big clubs get paid super fees just for having those teams there, and the small teams don't get anything from their respective leagues. So you can't only blame the world of football in general is effed, and it's not because of UEFA, it's not because of Super League, but the big clubs shouldn't be paying for it. It's not only our fault as well.
This is the equivalent of everybody breaks into a house, right? And they're all pointing at each other as to say who plotted it. At the end of the day, UEFA are crooks, FIFA are crooks. Perez, who wanted to set up this European Super League with the other owners, some of the worst owners in football, we were going to suddenly be under their leadership. You're trying to tell me that the Glazers, Kroenke, Henry, these guys that are trying to turn European competition into a franchise league. This would not have stopped in Europe. This would have been games played in Miami, in Australia, in Japan. They would have had halftime shows. They would have had yellow cards sponsored by BMW. They would have had all these extra things slapped on top because that is money. They are looking at this game and they're saying to themselves, in America, we advertise everywhere. You look at the NFL and the NBA, they advertise everywhere. Everything is an advertisement. They're looking at this game and they're thinking, you guys, not only are you not paying us what we deserve, and I'll get onto UEFA in a minute, but also you're not maximizing your profits here. We could be having halftime shows that make a whole heap of money. We could be doing this, doing that, because they're looking at it from a completely business standpoint. But what they don't understand is that this is more than business. This is not American sports. There are history and there are other clubs in the football pyramid. You cannot just close off a European league and kill off European dreams for teams. Leicester, West Ham, Newcastle when they finished 5th and almost made it. So many other times where, yes, we know the Premier League is not balanced. We know that, Chelsea, Man City, all these teams at the top, they spend the most money, they earn the most money. It's not a balanced league, but at least there is still a hope and a percentage that if you do good scouting and you structure well, you can make it up there. That is the hope that football needs. From the moment that you close that off, it can't work. And people keep saying, these teams were going over to Europe. They weren't trying to leave the Premier League. It's not about leaving the Premier League. It's about devaluing the Premier League. That's what they was going to do. They were going to stop competition in the Premier League. Suddenly, most of the games don't matter. If you're not getting relegated and you don't win the league, nothing else matters. That's the issue. They were going to take eyeballs off of the Premier League, and that's why the Premier League wouldn't stand for it. But I have to say, there's a lot of hypocrites in this game because I'm not going to be sitting here saying that. I'm not going to sit here and say that we're going to start championing, UEFA or FIFA. UEFA who don't take racism seriously, FIFA who build stadiums in poor conditions with workers getting underpaid, UEFA who don't care about player welfare and set up extra tournaments like the Nations League, BT Sport who charges £15 pay-per-view for games like Burnley versus Watford, Premier League who, by the way, started all this. It's been great to hear some of the older fans come out, because obviously I wasn't born back when the Premier League started. They're talking about, the Premier League starting all this in the first place. Sky Sports starting this in the first place. They're just unhappy now that the bag is being stolen from them. So
because they're gonna get a cut. They're gonna get a cut of the cake. Exactly. That's all it is. That's 100%. All it is. And Gary Neville talking about all this like fucking PR, moral values of how the clubs, blah blah blah. Aren't they the one who charged people like I think it was like West Brom versus Brighton, like £15 for a match? All of a sudden you're gonna give us like all this like chivalry crap that Gary Neville is this amazing, like we're all not supposed to be a part of this, that Super League is evil. But in reality is every part of football nowadays is crooked. It's no longer about football, and it's about maximizing your profit.
Dude, and he owns Salford, Kai. He owns Salford City. They're 3 leagues away from the Premier League. Do you think he worked so hard to get that club up to a specific level, only not to reap the rewards of getting them to the Premier League eventually?
Investments, man. And imagine the amount of investors he tried to get into it. I'm not, you know what? I've said it, like, I'm not going to go into finances and all that crap, because you guys know my background with that stuff. But the reality is everything in life is money. But I was annoyed about Sky and Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher trying to act like, like, oh, those teams are crook, blah blah blah. You guys are the main crooks, like, Sky. Because I'm not from the UK. I pay €20 and I watch Champions League, La Liga, German football, all of that stuff for €20. You guys are the one who pay like 50 for Sky, another 50 or something with 70
like
for
£100 package.
Yeah,
and you don't even get the 3 o'clock kickoffs.
It's a monopoly. It's a monopoly, and them acting like they're this saints and UEFA and all these guys are bad. I can't just stand the hypocrisy.
The only people in this without money interests is the fans at the end of the day.
The fans,
and even the players. I think a lot of the players, like, I felt sorry for them, because it's like we all work for entities where I can imagine if they do something ethically wrong, sometimes you still have to put food on someone's plate. Yeah. And their career is 10, 15 years. No one's going to reject a paycheck at the end of the day because they don't know what they're going to do after their games. They retire. So I felt sorry for the players as well.
Yeah. And it showed against Brighton. That was one of the deadest games, which we will move to our next subject. Matthias, what do you think about Tuchel so far, man?
Listen, I'm really impressed.
Like the most of us,
I'm really impressed. Obviously, the West Brom game was an anomaly. Brighton was very disappointing as well. We need to pick up the results now and get back onto top form. We've kind of slipped up in the last few weeks, dropping points. I think 4 points out of the last 3, which really should have been 9. I said we needed 9 points from Brighton, West Brom, and Palace. We only got 4 points, which is a big hit. But on the whole, he's been brilliant. Listen, we're in a Champions League Semi Final. We've just beaten Manchester City as well, which a lot of people have forgotten about, unfortunately, due to the news. And we're in an FA Cup final. So he's been brilliant. The way that he's been able to, utilize most of the squad outside Tammy Abraham. He's and maybe Billy Gilmore. Some people have complaints, but we need to understand this squad is bloated. When Frank Lampard was here, he didn't utilize the whole squad either. So it's not. Yes, people will say, where is Tammy? Where is this? Where is that? Focus on the overwhelming positives over a couple negatives. Yes, not every single player is getting the game time you want to see. Potentially, there's something that Tammy does tactically or instruction-wise that he can't see. For me, listen, I love Lampard, but there's a lot more people questioning an experienced world-class manager than people that were questioning a rookie who doesn't have any experience. And I find that to be quite funny. If you're gonna back a manager, then for the first season where he's there to get results, not even a full season, let's just let him get his results. He's there to get results. He's there to hit objectives, and then in the summer he can have a preseason, work on his style of play, get the players in that he wants, get the players out that he doesn't want. You'd probably expect that he doesn't want Tammy. And then you can judge him more harshly. But for people to be really complaining about decision making from a man that's coming halfway through the season and complaining more about an experienced manager than a rookie manager, I find quite funny, because his knowledge of the game, management wise, will be a lot higher than what we're used to.
Yeah. And you know what? For me, I've always been a fan of Tuchel, man. Ever since I was part of the football terrace before, I've always been like advocate for Tuchel to come in and replace Lampard, and I was very very happy when it happened. I think I was on stream with Lawrence and Carefree Lewis, and I said the same thing. I said if this guy comes to Chelsea and replaces Lampard, you would see. And I don't know, Alex. I think you were there as well. Some part of those streams, and I was like, if Tuchel comes in, you will see the difference between a manager with a 1.70 point average and a manager who has the highest win rate in both PSG and Dortmund history. And people are like, oh, but it's only the French league. Yeah, but Ancelotti, who's one of the best manager who came there, couldn't get that. We're talking about Klopp, who was at Dortmund. A lot of people like don't even look at those stats because it's not in the Premier League, part of the Premier League history. But in reality, those Tuchel is a very decorated manager in European football. He's really, really rated. And when he came in, I said, this guy is going to revolutionize Chelsea. And the fact that people are complaining about him not playing Tammy, where was people when Lampard didn't even bother giving Cho a time? When were people when Lampard decided to throw away Azpilicueta, Rudiger, and not use any of them? And look at the benefits that we are reaping from them playing football right now. He was trying to throw away experience, and it shows. I'm sorry, you can't even get a fucking bachelor degree in 4 years, let alone become a world-class manager for a club that is net worth is above 2.5 billion, man. People need to stop.
I love that analogy. That's spot on.
Yeah. So people need to calm down, enjoy the ride. We're in the final of the FA Cup, semi-final of the Champions League for the first time in 8 years. Give the guy his props. Forget about Lampard. Lampard was never good enough for Chelsea. I'm sorry. If you have 42% win rate as a Chelsea football manager, that's not a place for you, man. That's not the place for you.
I don't care much about the guy. We're in a good place now. Like, we're in a good place. We're growing, aren't we? And you can see the foundations being laid for future seasons. Even if Tuchel won't be here in 18 months, this is a style that we can build on, the passing style. And I think it's very telling when you have Jorginho and Kovacic playing, how much more control we have in that middle. I love Kante, but there are games where I don't feel like he's good enough on the ball. So can you imagine if we get an upgrade on Jorginho or Kovacic, how the level will increase? I think the right wing back position is a big issue. We need someone more attacking than Reece James, and we lack creativity because of it. But that's the only thing I have an issue with. Everything else is perfect. I'm nitpicking.
Yeah. I just final thoughts, because sorry, I gotta go soon because my battery's dying.
No worries.
It's like my fourth stream today. I haven't had a chance to charge my phone too much. Sorry, guys. I mean, in terms of the team, that you can see he's working with what he's got. He's set up a system. He set up a system to enhance the strengths of the team and hide the weaknesses. You look at Jorginho, fantastic player on the ball. I've had Pat Nevlin and Gab Marcotti wax lyricals about him, trying to put respect on his name in his fan base, which I really like to see. Yes, he's a player with weaknesses. Yes, physically. People talk about Jorginho and say he's bad at tackling, he's bad at interceptions. It's not that. It's the physicality that he's bad at. It's the fact that he can't cover the ground. So if you get him caught in transition and you leave spaces in between the lines, which is what we had a lot of issues with last season, particularly, you look back to the start of last season with those preseason games against Salzburg, so much gaps in between the lines and so much space to run into. Sheffield United is another great example. From the start of last season to the end of last season, Chelsea never really had their defensive shape intact, and they had a lot of space in between the lines. That is not what Jorginho can handle. Jorginho is a person that, in a Pep system, that's why they wanted him, in a very closed system where everything has, every pass has a purpose. There's a clear plan. You're playing in triangles. You're making movements in front. That is where he thrives. And he does make a lot of tackles and interceptions, but he can only do it in small quarters, in small spaces. That is why he's great in the counter press. But Tuchel noticed that, and he stuck a back three behind him, and that's what you got to do. You got to put him in a pivot, put him in a back three. Did the same. Lampard did the same against Ajax away from home in Amsterdam. We played a back three, Zuma, Tomori, and Rudiger, I believe, and then Mason Mount and Jorginho and Kova played just ahead, and it worked brilliantly. We had a great performance out there. So we have to. That's what managers have to do. Some managers, they can be too stubborn and stick to their same formation. For me, Werner's playing in his strongest position right now. He's playing second striker just behind the forward. Whether it's two up front or it's a three with Mount just dropping in sometimes, it's still the same thing. He's not out on the channel. He's not on the touchline. So he's in his best position. So his performance should go up. So there's a lot of players for me that are now getting, they're still missing pieces to the puzzle. Like you said, Reece James, right wing back. I'd like to see him in the future right side of centre back. I think he's got the physicality for it, and get a real Tariq Lamptey. Let's just say he would have been perfect for that role. Someone like him. So hindsight's a beautiful thing. Yeah, but that's my thoughts really. But listen, West Ham's a huge game, guys. So hopefully we can pick up the 3 points. You know what happened there last year? It was shocking. Yeah. So man, just hopefully we can get the 3 points.
Yeah. I think the Brighton game was just an abnormally because of all the stuff surrounding the game as well. Yeah. The players weren't as focused. Hopefully we can bounce back. And hey, we only have like 6 games until the end of the season. So if we beat West Ham now, it would be a huge for us. And if we lose, it's
must win though.
I think we can win. I think we can win.
There's no if, buts, and maybes. This needs to be a win.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, bro, for coming on, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Listen, thank you so much, and listen. Good luck to the rest of the chat. Big love in the chat. I really appreciate you guys watching, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel here. And man, thank you so much. Appreciate
24 subs until 1K, people. Come on, man. 3 months, 1K is good.
Done,
come on,
get it done.
Get it up. Come on. Cheers, Matthias. Thank you, bro. Take care. Bye. Alexis, what are we doing now? We keep talking, or are we?
Let's talking. We still got like half hour. I don't mind. I've got time.
So what do you think now? What we should do for the? Should we go for the? Let's go for the West Ham game as well. Well, what do you think should happen? I don't want to see Mount ever play deep, man. Never, man. Ever. I don't ever want to see him deep, man. Honestly, like the guy can pass.
The one thing I always hear from people is he's so versatile. 6, 8, 10. I always hear that.
Yep.
He can't play 6. Maybe he can develop, but this is not the time to develop. The right time to develop will be maybe next season when you have a preseason and you can throw games away. Right now, keep him in the 10 if you have to play him. But for me, Pulisic is a must start. Havertz is a must start, and then anyone else from there is a bonus in the front three.
Yeah,
they need to play.
People are bitching that Havertz was bad in the last few games, but I think the thing with Havertz is the fact that he wasn't really like, you feel that something was bothering him about that game. I don't know what it is, man, but to be honest, man, I've said it 1,000 times. I think we need more experienced players in different positions, because right now it's like, if this team wins the Champions League, I think it's one of the best Chelsea achievements. No, it's one of the best. I don't think it's a fluke, because we were beating teams quite convincingly, man. Like we barely conceded. I think we were just very well managed, man. Yeah, we're very well managed.
System. Because when you look at the players, we've had so many better teams where that haven't won the Champions League.
Yeah.
And right now, if you look at it, I think it's going to be a slow development, because you can't put so many youngsters together. That's why, when people are like, oh, go get Bellingham, go get Camavinga. For what? Like, we don't have time to be putting more projects into a project. For me, it's an hour. You need to go get an hour, someone that's ready to play now.
Bro, I've said it like 100 times. I think that we need to dump this youth project, man, and go back to our roots, man. I think it's like the way that the league is right now, and the way that the football market is right now. We need to capitalize on it. I know it's fucked up because it's COVID, blah blah blah. But the reality is, we can get a lot of players on a cheap. This is the time where teams are weaker, so this is the time where we can win Premier Leagues, we can win Champions League, and we need to capitalize on that opportunity. If we keep waiting for youth, waiting for development of players, we're gonna miss our chance. This is our time, man. Because I don't feel like City or Liverpool has been that good in the last 5 years. I just think everybody around them were crap. Look at Liverpool now when the team got a little bit better, man. All of a sudden they go back to 9th.
Like this weekend with the game, right? I don't want to see Reece James starting. You need to have Callum Hudson-Odoi on that right wing back.
Ah, man, Callum Hudson-Odoi, bro.
Who are you going to play at right wing back?
Bro, I know, but those are the only options we have. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not. I just hope he builds that back three, man. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not of the fan of the back three at all.
We're not gonna bin it now, man. I heard what you said about Callum the other day. You're so harsh, man. So harsh.
Listen, but think about it this way, right, Alexis? Is he even close to Ruben when Ruben was 21? Arjen Ruben.
No, but
was he as close to Hazard when he was 21?
No, but Hazard's one of the greatest players of all time. Like he will go down top 20 wingers.
People are talking like he is one of the greatest of all time. People tell me he's going to be world class, which is why I have the issue with this whole like hype. I don't see it. I'm sorry, man. I don't see it. Maybe just me, but I don't see it. I don't see the hype in him.
The thing is, I'm comparing him to what we have. I don't think Ziyech is that much better, personally. I think Ziyech, for a 28-year-old, so inconsistent. It's like, bro, come on. Like, you spent... And then people tell me I'm negative because I say, there's a reason he only cost 30 million. There's a reason he spent his best years in Eredivisie.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like, just make the best out of a bad situation. If you can sign an upgrade in the summer. But I don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi is the problem. I think there is more problems in this team.
If we had a chance to get Jadon Sancho, right? People are going to be, he's also 21. But I'm sorry, Jadon Sancho at 21 is something different to Odoi at 21. Or 20 or whatever it is, his age.
I don't know, man. I think there's opportunity. That's the difference. It's a bad league and good opportunity. That's why Sancho looks better.
But when he plays, when Odoi plays, I just don't. Sometimes he has really good games, But world-class players are about consistency. You're like people say, moment players, but like I think I spoke about yesterday. Look at Hazard. Hazard, we could be playing shit, but one moment from this guy, man, changes the whole landscape of the game. Odoi doesn't possess that, and for me, that separates the world-class players from the good players or the very good players. Do we really have any world-class player other than Pulisic in our team? And even Pulisic is not on the level of
Kante. Kante is the only one we have. Kante is the only world-class.
But do we have it in attack though? I believe that we need to have at least one world-class player in every position. Do we have a world-class player in attack?
No,
we don't. Do we have a world-class player in midfield? You would say Kante.
Kante is the only one.
In defense, do we have anybody other than Thiago Silva, who's like 700, like right now, man? He's like fucking old. And then we have Mendy, I
think he's world class.
I think a lot of people are unfair on Mendy because he makes world-class saves a lot of the times. His reflexes are very good, but he can't play with his feet, man. He can't. He's like a fucking baby elephant, man.
I hate that. When they say he can't play with, who cares? I want him making saves. I want him coming out collecting crosses. I had Kepa. And you know what? Kepa raised my blood pressure. I don't need that. For me, it's simple, right? You keep Mendy in goal. He's not an issue. You concentrate on midfield.
Would you sign a winger this summer?
For me, the biggest issue is sign that centre midfielder. You go get a centre midfielder, you get a centre back, and then you start worrying about a winger. Because I think
our attack, Alexis, our attack is quite...
Yeah, but the attack is because of the transition, I think.
I think so too. I think we need a creative, but people are telling me DM. I don't think we need a DM. We need a creative.
No, especially if we're going to play this formation, one of the eights needs to be attacking, like on the ball, like penetrative. Someone like a Verratti. Verratti, I like him, but you're not going to get him.
Honestly, I would take our man. For the price that we can get him, he has that pass that can split defense. I've seen this guy against Man City, man, and he split them open like in the fucking brothel, man. The guy is just... we need to give this guy. If we can get this guy for 35 million and steal him from Arsenal, I would get him, man. Because he's not going to say yes to Arsenal, not to us. It's an opportunity that we're not going to miss. Plus, he can play a little bit deeper. He can play the deep playmaker role as well if we wanted to. And he has a pass, first touch. He would fit Tuchel perfectly, man. I think even Tuchel wanted him for PSG when he was in France.
He's an interesting one because...
we have so many opportunities in this market, Alexis. So I want the club to go crazy, man. It's fucking it's oozing in talent, man. To quote expression, man. But I would love to get some.
For me,
a striker,
I said about Camavinga, right? You know what I said about Camavinga being young, but for 40 million, I think it's worth just to buy him and stockpile him, send him on loan, let him develop there, come back, because the French market is so poor right now. They've got no money. The TV all messed up and.
We'll buy them, man. We'll buy them, man.
I hope so.
We'll buy as
Man.
many. I think we need a striker as well. I think we need a. I'm sorry, man. I think we need a striker.
Who do you want though? Because if Haaland's not available, I don't want Lukaku. I don't want Lukaku.
I know this is gonna be a lot of people are gonna be unhappy, but I would take Icardi. I would love Icardi at Chelsea, man. Icardi is a bastard. He's a bastard, man. I love bastards.
But there's no
Bastards
link
and
up.
strikers.
Like,
Why? We'll have link up. If we have a good winger, man. Him
No,
and
because then-
Pulisic
You see, this
would
is
be a
my
good
issue
combination.
now. Our squad is so imbalanced. Like, if you sign Icardi, where does Kai play? Where does Cho play? Where does Pulisic play? Where does Werner play? Like, this is the issue. You can't have Werner and Icardi. Because
Yeah,
they
but
don't work.
Werner would go like we will go as a backup, and then you have Icardi, and you would have basically what Juventus did with Dybala, where he played. Dybala is very similar to Havertz in my opinion, man. Except Havertz is taller, and arguably have a better touch. So we would have what's his name? We'd have Havertz behind a striker, whoever it is, like. If it's Icardi, Lukaku, blah, blah, blah. And I think they would complement each other very good. Look at Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez, man. They're a good combination.
You know what you said there, right? For me, I think the real signing would be you keep Havertz false 9, you keep Pulisic on the left, and you buy one for the right-hand side. So maybe a Dybala, maybe a João Felix. You go and purchase someone who's creative but gets goals. A Martinez. Do you know what I mean? Someone like what Werner was meant to be.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think
because I like Kai as false 9.
I like him too, but do we really have time to wait for him to kind of adapt to that false 9 and just like master it like it's like his natural position? I don't know. For me, we need to grab like the opportunity that we have right now with all the teams around us being weak, financially unstable. A lot of people are saying Dybala, but I think we need somebody who's a striker who's a bit more physical, man.
Someone more physical.
You wouldn't like Icardi. You wouldn't even entertain the idea of Icardi, man.
No, because I saw Icardi. I liked Icardi, especially when he went to PSG. I saw him and I was like, no, this is not for me. Like, I see why everyone else stayed away. He's too much drama. He's not good enough physically. He's not... I'd rather have Lukaku.
That's a good shout, man. Lukaku as a striker and Havertz as a cam, but mostly like a shadow striker, man. I think it would be good. I think it would suit each other well. They balance each other.
Did you see the links to Danny Ings?
Ah, fuck me, man. Danny Ings, man. Yesterday, Jesus Christ, the guy had so many fucking opportunities, man. Haaland. I don't think Chelsea will get Haaland. And I wouldn't get... If you ask me, can we get Sancho and Lukaku or Haaland, I'll get Sancho and Lukaku.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more balanced, because Lukaku has the experience on his hand. He played in the Premier League before, and then we'll have Sancho who can basically adapt to the team.
You know what I don't understand?
Yeah.
No one is going after Mbappe. He's got 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah, but
Mbappe
they won't sell him, man. They won't sell him for more than 200 and something, and that's not us.
But he's got 1 year left on his deal. Like, are they going to lose him for free?
I think that he will sign a contract, man. I think PSG, or I think he wants to wait for Real Madrid, but Real Madrid are more broke than the fucking Russians after the Cold War, man. So I don't see it happen, man. I honestly don't see it happening. I think he's gonna stay and he's gonna sign a contract that's gonna leave a lot of people homeless, man. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, man, the left back we've got now for years to come because we're not gonna buy a new one. Ben's sorted. Reece James. Right back, fine. Wing back, we have a problem. We need to upgrade because I can't see Reece James he can't run. He can't turn when he's running full pace. He's too big. Like, he's so immobile. I don't understand it. You
don't like Reece? I think he has a lot of talent, man.
I think he's very talented.
I think he's a fullback. He's just not a wing back. That's what all it is.
That's exactly it. And he's getting exposed. Like, you keep him as a proper right back, he's fantastic. One of the best in his position.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. Yeah.
You put him as a fullback, he just looks like the Hulk trying to play football.
No, I wish we actually had the Hulk. Remember, we were linked to Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk. I remember.
He was so good, man. If Chelsea got him that time, man, we'd have been.
Oh, do you remember? AVB came in, asked for Hulk and Falcao, and they gave him Mata and Lukaku. A young Mata and a young Lukaku. It's just...
We had Falcao back then when he was Atletico Madrid. Remember on the Super Cup, he scored like a hat-trick against us. A perfect hat-trick as well.
That was right before he went to we wanted him right before
Monaco.
he left Porto. Yeah, before
he
he
went
left
to
Porto
Monaco,
to go to Atletico, and then he went to Monaco.
To Monaco, yeah.
Man, he
He
was a
was-
killer. He
he
one
was,
of my
man.
favorite strikers of all time.
Same, bro. I fucking love him, man. He was like 5'11", and he jumped like he had like the heading on him. The ability was fucking insane, man.
Man, some of the strikers we had playing for us: Eto'o, Pato, Falcao, Higuain.
We always
None of
give
them
them
were
like,
good.
whenever they're ready to fucking retire, man.
None of them were
Jesus.
good.
But
Literally.
somebody told me that Chelsea should go for Dybala as a striker. What do you think about that? Is that too kind of hipstery for you, or do you think it's like it would fit
Like I
us?
said, I wouldn't mind him as a in behind Havertz. So Havertz will be the main target man, linking up play. You have Pulisic and Dybala running around going crazy. The only thing is, if we move to a
Troy
then-
Deeney, man.
unless we move to a 4-2-3-1, then that works as well, because then you can always you're gonna hate this, but you can have Pulisic, Dybala, Cho, Havertz, or even Havertz, Ziyech on the right, which is fine. Like, we've got the players to play. Then what happens to Timo? For me, honestly, if the good money comes in, sell him. Like,
I like Timo. Well, I like him at RB Leipzig. Right now, for me, you know me, man. For me, the most important thing for me is my club. Individual players for me, they don't matter that much. I would, if we get an opportunity to sell him and we can get somebody who's going to improve the team, and Tuchel sees it as it fits his plan, I wouldn't mind it. I would be down for it. But if we're just gonna get because I don't want to keep this front three. I think we need some experience, some quality in that front three. I like them all as individual potential players, but right now I just think we have so many inconsistencies, so many players who are not like experienced enough to take us forward.
I'm surprised Giroud's not
We
playing.
need it, man. Yeah, but Giroud can't press. Giroud can't press. We saw him against Brighton. If teams play a high line against us, Giroud is basically useless, man. He's just useless. He can't run. He can't, he presses, but in slow motion. So what's the point, man? So I do understand why he doesn't play them, man. Because Tammy has like the physical fucking strength of a Twinkie. They all have like fragilities that don't fit Tuchel's system. So I understand why he doesn't play them. I don't understand why people cry about it. Like, literally, we lost 7 matches this season, right? How many matches? Wait, let me check this out, because I am
8.
actually interested.
No?
8 matches, and one of them under Tuchel. So just be. Actually, we still can lose as many games as Lampard, man. So just 12 or something.
We're not going to lose as many games as London.
Yeah.
You see, he says, what if we go to a 4-3-3? We don't have the players that suit a 4-3-3 anymore.
Yeah, because Conte can't pass, and we need somebody to sit deeper.
And then you can't go with Jorginho, Kovacic, and Mount, because I don't think it works.
He can't pass either, man. Yeah. Yeah. I just hope the club let Tuchel build an identity, because this guy is very good at building teams, man. He built that Dortmund team that ended up winning the the league, man. So we will see, man. We'll see.
I think it will be in a good position, man. Really, if you look at it, the team's going in the right direction. We just have to win tomorrow. No, after tomorrow. Bro, listen to this. I've got a wedding to go to on Saturday, and the game is on. I'm the best man. I'm the best man.
Just have it on a phone, man. Just have it on a phone. Just have a phone in front of you, and that's it. Well, they give the speeches and stuff.
Literally,
that West Ham game is gonna kill, man. It's gonna be so fucking good, man.
I'm scared of Jesse Lingard, because if he scores against us, oh my god.
No, if Declan Rice plays good against us, all the fucking DMs I'm gonna get. Oh,
I think he's injured. I think he's injured.
Oh, that's nice, man.
That's nice. Like,
if we beat them, it's a 6-pointer, man.
Yeah, literally, I think it's a must-win as well. Like, because
we literally go 3 points above them, and they will have a game less to play.
And then we go.
It's crazy. We only have 5 games to go after this game.
Yeah, and we have 2 points. If we beat them, we go 2 points ahead of Leicester, but they have 2 games in hand. Leicester have 2 games in hand now, which is really
but we're also playing Leicester next as well. I think we have a chance to get third if we stop fucking around, man.
I'll be honest, I couldn't give a shit about third. Just get Champions League. Like,
I'm the same. But like, it's easier if we're third. We're basically like guaranteed top 4, man. But if we win our next 3 games, I think we will get top 4. I think it's done. There's no.
I hope so. Man, the thing is, I'm really interested. So if we beat Madrid and the Champions League finals around the corner, are the players going to be thinking about qualifying for Champions League next year, or are they going to be thinking about the final? Because football works like that. Players are they're looking for the next game until there's a bigger game around the corner. So, man, they just get Champions League, please. I don't want to have Thursday nights booked.
So imagine this scenario, yeah? Imagine this scenario, yeah? We don't get Champions. We finish 5th with 1 point behind Champions League. We win. Okay, we lose the FA Cup final against whoever we play, yeah, on penalties. And then on the final day of the season, yeah, we play Champions League final and we win it. Would you like that scenario? Like, would you accept that scenario, even though you know that you're gonna be in pain for the next 2 months until it happens? Because everything's gonna be like,
man, listen, if it means we win the Champions League, I don't care. Lose the FA Cup final to Leicester.
Yeah, but you don't know that we're gonna win the Champions League at the end, because you don't know that. You're just thinking like, oh shit, we're fucking up every time. We are bottled top 4. We lost the FA Cup, and then we just go there and win the Champions League. Because if we beat Real Madrid, I think we can win the Champions League. I honestly think we can win the Champions League.
So do I. And for me, I hope we get Manchester City in that final, because teams normally lose their first final. The occasion is too big. I don't know why it works like that, but teams usually lose their first final.
I think we can beat them both. I think we can beat PSG and Real Madrid for months. And City, sorry.
PSG is going to be in.
They both, PSG, even in their league, they struggle against like good defensive teams. And Bayern haven't been that good lately. They didn't have. I think we can win the Champions League if we beat Real Madrid. For me, Real Madrid right now, because of their experience, they don't really get like nervous about playing Champions League because they have already won it so many times. So if we go through them, I think we can beat the other two who haven't won that many, who have never won the Champions League, because they're gonna be nervous or whatever, and we can capitalize them because we already beat them. Like we already beat City like convincingly. Like I think they didn't even lay a glove on us. If that Pulisic goal stood, I think that game should have finished 2 or 3-0 because we were so good that game, man.
So comfortable.
It's just so exciting, man. We didn't even think about those fucking possibilities 4 months ago because all of us were so fucking down, man. None of us thought we'd be in a final. Nobody of us thought we'd be in a semi-final for the Champions League. And all it took is one manager, man. That's why I've always said it. How can you disrespect the managerial role so much and give it to a guy from fucking Derby, man? How? It's annoying me, man.
Question. Do you think Werner Zayt
should ever start till the end of the season? I think Zayt and Werner play good against big teams. I think they play good against big teams.
I don't want to see Kepa again.
Yeah. I don't. Unless we don't have any games. No, I don't want to see Kepa anymore because all the games we play now are important.
And Alonso only if we secure top 4 and they want to rest Ben.
Alonso, I don't just want to see him ever again, man, because that guy is a criminal walking, man. I don't want to see him ever at Chelsea shirt again, man. But it is what it is. Anyway, people,
I'm gonna have to.
We're gonna call it off. People, thank you for watching, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was on short notice. I know it was on short notice because Matiz wrote us in the last minute that he was willing to do the show, and Alexis just finished an exam, and I wrote him and he said, "Okay, let's do it," and we did it. We appreciate it. If you guys watching it on the replay, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. We are 23 people away from 1,000, man. So please share it. Even if you fucking create fake accounts and get us to 1K, man. At this point, I don't care, man. Just do it.
Literally.
Take care of yourself. Get your vitamins, get your minerals, all that crap, and take care of yourself. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.
Peace out.